it's John with LearningGuitarNow.com, and in this lesson I'm going to show you about how to go about playing at the end jam of Layla, playing open E tuning slide guitar. So this lesson is an open E tuning, playing slide, how to approach that jam in the end, and we're playing in the key of C, and what's exactly going on and how to improvise, kind of like Derek Trucks, Dwayne Allman might do. So it's a great song, the outro is really cool, and it's just a C to F over and over again. So you got to figure out what to do over that chord progression, and one of the main things that you have to learn first is how to play that melody. So this melody at the end. You have to know where that is, and you have to know where that is all over the place, and you want to improvise around that instead of just playing random licks all over the place. If you listen to Derek Trucks jam that, he always references that little melody over and over again, and it kind of keeps it in your mind, and he kind of just really improvises well over that melody, just weaving between that melody in and out of it, and you just got to know it all over the fretboard. So I'm going to show you one place you can do it. We're in the key of C. We're going to start on the B string, which we start on the 5th interval. That note right here on the 8th fret of the B string. We're going to come back to the 5th fret of the B string, which is the major third to the 5th. And then what I like to do next is play the same notes but on different strings. It kind of gives it more of a fat sound. So you have this on the 8th, 9, and then 11th fret of the G sharp string, you have this. Back to the 9th fret of the G sharp string, 8th fret of the G sharp string, 6th fret of the G sharp string, and then in your root note, the C, which is going to be on the 4th fret. And that's kind of the main melody, really slowly. And then that's your first step into soloing and improvising over that Layla jam at the end, the C to F jam, is to know that melody and be able to improvise around it. So that is step one. And actually one other place you can do it's really cool is on the high E string. You start with the 5th interval on the 15th fret, 12th fret of the high E, 12, 13, 15, and then back to the 10th fret, and then your root note C on the 8th fret. So that's the main thing you have to know. And then one of the other things that happens is every now and then it goes to the B flat chord, and then what note you can play over there is what sounds really cool is just your 9th note, just your root note up 2 frets. So you'd have then right here when it goes to B flat, you just find your root note and move up 2 frets. Easy way to go playing over that chord. And then after that, it's just kind of a, you could improvise a lick using the C major scale. Now you can do a cool major lick, C major scale, just to improvise. So after you hit that B flat chord, playing the 9th interval there, you can just do some kind of you can add some blues to it, but mostly it's the major scale, and then every now and then you can throw in the blues scale. But that's how you want to go approaching how to jam over the ending of Layla, and then you can kind of improvise. Pretty much you have to know the C major scale to improvise over Layla. Even the other part when it goes to A minor, I think it's G to D minor, I think those are the chords. You can play all C major scale over the entire thing. All that is just C major scale. So that's pretty much what you want to do. If you want to solo over that jam is stay with a melody. First thing you have to do is learn the melody, and then you want to learn it all over the fretboard. You want to reference back to it when you can, and then you want to stay with the C major scale all over the fretboard, improvising in between all that, and then always knowing where your root note is, and then just kind of practicing putting all that together, knowing your melody, knowing your major scale, and then knowing when to throw in those blues notes, and then knowing when the B flat chord comes in. You go to that ninth interval, sounds cool, and you can try other notes as well, but that's an easy one to work with. And then after you hit that, the ninth interval, you can do a major style improv. So those are the steps that you want to take when you're trying to improvise over Layla. It's just pretty much all C. You can never go wrong with just using the C major scale over the entire jam, especially when it goes to that A minor, G, D minor, something like that. The major scale works perfect. All those notes are just straight. I'm just improvising straight C major scale entire thing. So if that's what you want to practice, the jam over Layla. If you want more information about how to play the C major scale, I created a whole DVD on how to learn the C major scale, so you can use those type of techniques, licks, and scales if you want to jam in the style of Layla. Okay, well that's it for this lesson.